at the surface, we're fashion design. We are Grady High School's fashion design program. We've been running for 8 years. We started out as 2 sewing classes, emphasis on fashion design, 8 years ago, and it's grown into this pretty incredible program. But more recently, I've been asking myself truly, what is urban couture? Because honestly, a lot of my students don't go to fashion school. They love fashion design and they do really well in my classes, but they don't pursue it, but they love it. And what I've come to realize is that fashion design for our kids, it's a vehicle to get them somewhere else in their life. Okay. And then we'll guide you from there.
Okay.
Do you want to try this on now?
Yeah. So you can just go in there and... Well, I'm just really excited to be a part of this wonderful event taking place tomorrow here at Grady High School. I've always been a fan of Mr. Martinez, so I think he knows that, kinda, sorta. But when I was at my old radio station, I'm currently at V103. When I was at Hot 107.9, I was able to come and do some things here with Mr. Martinez, and I'm just a big fan of Grady and all of the things that they do here. So when I got the call or the email and said, would I be interested in this event, I said yes.
This task was a little difficult than usual because I'm more comfortable designing for women. So this was definitely a challenge, but it was fun. And my design aesthetic is more drastic and dramatic, and to tone it down was a bit hard, but I think I'm pulling through pretty much, and it's gonna come out fantastic. Planning a fashion show is extremely difficult, especially when you have the last minute changes and the things that could definitely stop the show from going on. But as a fashion designer, the show must go on. Like, for example, I made pants and they were too little, so we had to start from scratch, but we're gonna manage to pull through it.
So we're, I guess, a few minutes away from the show starting, and I'm thinking to myself, A, I'm not a model, so this ought to be interesting, and B, no matter what I do, he's gotta steal the show, because he's got on a cape, a silk cape, satin cape, with a bow tie. It just doesn't get much cuter than this, so no matter what I do, he's going to be great.
They are at the beginning of the runway, and they're waiting for you as well when you first, when you exit, to take your dog, and they're watching. If they see that you're struggling, that the dog is pulling, you know what? Stand there, look cute, you know, take a picture, smile, wave. Someone will be out to help you. Yeah. Grady High School. You know what? I'm going to talk a little bit about how wonderful Grady High School is. I am an art teacher, even though I teach fashion design. But we have got such an amazing school. Our curriculum is incredible, whether it's our communication students with our nationally award-winning newspaper, yearbook, and video production, or it's our theater, our arts, music, orchestra, fine arts, just absolutely amazing. We are continually doing things with the community. And again, anytime you've got a teenager working side by side with an adult within their industry, you've got a winning combination. Grady is getting very well known for its fine arts programs. And again, that's music, theater, and visual arts, and fashion design.
Regardless of all the things that are happening in the background and behind the scenes, you have to continue to let the show go on, and we pulled through and it was fantastic.